This is Rogue Wing, Coraline, or Helen RD over at Starship Modeler. Welcome to the workshop. And here we are back for another update. Got to thinking, as I was getting ready to do some of the detail work on CW here, that CW, before being drafted into U.S. service as Omega 7 Tau, was a spacecraft, not an airplane. So, to accommodate that, and to show that role, I took my Dremel, and using a technique I used previously on Battlestar Galactica Mark II Vipers, I ground RCS thrusters into various locations on the ship. Occurs to me I probably ought to put a couple over here and over here, but that helps show that we all know flaps don't really work well in space. So RCS thrusters now in place. CW here is much closer to being the former spacecraft that he once was. Back soon. And we're back with a very quick update right down here toward the back end of the ship. As you can see, I have installed the main thruster nozzles. As I showed before in a previous segment, it's a two-part assembly using the cap and inner cap, or the back cap rather, and the needle cap of some of my insulin needles. Once I use the needles, I don't really need them for anything, so I pull the needles out, made it so I could use the engine caps. I also went in, as I discussed earlier, using that same sanding screen that I used to form the foundation here, to create detail over the intakes on the front of the ship. At this point, about all that's really left construction-wise is put the landing gear on. Oh, and to put the nose gear door in place. But we are rapidly approaching the end of construction. Okay, this is likely the last time you'll get to see her before any kind of paint goes on her. But got one last thing done. Namely, I have the landing gear in place, as well as the boarding ramp. I may still go in and put some sort of struts on the ramp. Haven't really decided yet. But the Mark 7 landing gear works really well for the landing gear for CW here. Still make out the cargo hatch that I carved in. There's not a lot of ground clearance on this thing, but that's where she sits right now. Next step's going to be to mask off the cockpit windows so I can start getting paint on her.